Hi, it's Wasabi. Welcome back to the channel. Today's battle's on the El Haluf map, and we've got El Comandante from Fidi Clan in his Charioteer. It's the Tier 8 British TD that leads to the FB 4005 Stage 2. He's platooned with Dynamite 33 from Lime Clan, so shout out to them. Always enjoy having advances against them. He's in a light tank, the ELC even 90. Now, El Comandante has 2 marks of excellence on this gun barrel, so we know he's a all-round good player in this tank. Consistent damage. And his first target is an EBR 75. It's the premium wheeled tank at Tier 8. You can see the shell velocity is 1478, which typically means you don't have to lead, but you can see his aim is a bit wide, simply because the moving that's going on there. And that last round did hit the EBR, but didn't penetrate as it hit the wheels, so he's just looking for this opportunity to get another shot in. And here we've got the EBR moving slowly, and he gets a shot in, does his max damage, and the EBR gets taken out by the Scorpion. You can see the shell velocity 1478, it's APCR, it's the standard round. It's one of the highest shell velocities in the game, certainly at this tier, so just under 1500 meters per second, so typically you don't need to lead a great deal. Now the premium round, by comparison, is a HESH round, so lowest shell velocity, but more importantly, lower penetration than the standard round. But it does have higher damage, so it's the trade-off with this particular gun. He pokes a bit too far forward and pays the price for that. Being in a turreted TD, you can play it a bit like a tank, but you definitely don't have the armor to back it up, so you've got to be careful looking for shots. And here we go, Object 257 crossing relatively slowly. Puts a nice shot in there. His team is pushing quite hard here. Already lost 2 tanks, and they're down about 5,000 hit points nearly. So things not going all that well. They need to recover this and start pumping some damage into the enemy team. Now they're pulling back the tanks a bit. They've just killed one of the enemy light tanks. They won't change the battle scenario here. It sounds like his platoon mates told him of a few enemy tanks crossing, and they've got a brass going up the hill relatively slowly, which is good. So he gets a nice shot in there. Unfortunately, the brass gets behind cover before he can reload. It sounds like there's some other tanks pushing in. If you look at the minimap, there's a Charioteer and a ISU 152K, both making their way around. They both fire at the Barask and miss. And he might get the shot in on him now. Oh, it goes over the top. So it's probably more the size of the aim circle. At that distance, you are basically, your aim circle will be probably bigger than the tank itself, and the Brask being a fairly small piece. But that was interesting that they're crossing. It looks like the Charioteer and ISU 152K both pushing up onto the top. And it's the Scorpion doing the same thing there, so okay, it looks like Commie is going back to have a look at that. Just gets out of the way of that T-77 gun. Oh, and there's the 152K. So they've come from the top, but yeah, he's fires towards him, but doesn't seem to land anywhere. 152K gets out of or back into cover. There we go, it's the Scorpion. Gets a nice shot in there. And he should get another one. They're moving pretty slowly up the hill, and there's a Basante following him. Now he hits there, but doesn't do damage. That, again, that armor not hit indicates you've hit the tracks, basically. So you've hit the vehicle, but not anything that's got hit points behind it. Anyway, turns his focus to the Basante. Basante's actually stopped, which is good, so he'll get another shot in, which he does, and he might get another one before he gets up there. Basante's a heavy tank, so not going to move all that quickly. So third shot goes in, it takes him down to a one shot. So the game is coming back into balance a little bit. They're still behind in tanks and they're still behind in hit points, but they've improved the gap a fair bit. And you can see Commies just trying to find an angle there. They have dealt with TD up on the top there. And seeing that Scorpion, there you go, he's found an Udis which he can fire at, which he does. Interestingly, he doesn't get spotted. That probably indicates, well, you can see the Udis is actually outside of his view range. He's being spotted by someone else. But the Udis definitely didn't have his binocs up, so pretty safe to shoot. And Commie's up to 3k of damage already, so doing pretty well here. Now, I think he's thinking they're out of range a bit. Okay, well, RC152K has just come into view. So again, he's just looking for an angle here where he's mostly protected and he's just firing through a gap. Someone's on cap, but okay, his platoon mate's coming up there to try and reset. And do it in a sneaky way. There's the Basante. Will he get him going through the gap? Well, he hits him, but unfortunately doesn't do any damage by hitting the tracks. Does get spotted, but luckily no one's in a position to shoot back at him. Wasn't quite loaded and aimed in time to go for the next tank that came through. And he's just struggling with getting his position here. Finds the Charioteer and actually sets him on fire, and his platoon mate takes him out. So, still behind, but they've got the makings of getting a recovery. Another kill there for Commie. Or another kill, that's actually his first kill, so it's interesting. And now he's got a Martian on the other side, so he's really got a bit of a feast here. He's got tanks on both sides of him. Gets a hit from the T-44-100. And he's just again checking back on the tanks coming back from his cap side. Is that Udis is being lit by dynamite. But there's still this battle going on here, and Commie gets the roof of the Martian, puts a shot through. Can be a bit of a pinata, the Martians, if you get them at the right angles, and you might get the kill here if he goes through the top. Yeah, he does, but takes another hit from the cheeky T-44-100. And now he's being pushed on potentially by the Object 257. Now I guess the Object's being a bit careful because he's one-shottable, but so is Commie. So he's not going to push his luck too hard here. He's just trying not to show his turret even to the 257 because it is a pretty squishy tank. Now wants the 257 to come right down, in which case he might get some backup. No, there's actually no one there to back him up, so he'll have to catch him coming around the corner. And they're both playing it pretty careful here. Hits him again, just hits the tracks and unfortunately doesn't do any damage. But it looks like he's got a higher reload and he manages to go through the front plate. Once the tanks with the pike nose, once they try and angle, they're actually making one side of the pike more flat towards the gun, which is a bit unfortunate. But that's got them back into a slight lead in terms of guns in the game. So there's 3 tanks now versus 2. But they are well down on hit points still, so it indicates that the remaining tanks are still pretty full of HP. Now we don't think the T-44 is, so that must be that Jagd Tiger that just got spotted below. And it's Von the Burglar from 1AR clan. Shout out to 1AR. Normally see Von doing pretty well in games, and you can see he's 1500 hit points, so got most of his health. And here we go, Commy is on his, that was his last standard round, which didn't go through. Dynamite is putting hits into him as well as an ELC. Now he's got the side, no problem. And he's got his Hesh round going, which is his any remaining rounds. Did a nice big roll there, you should get the kill here. Still getting the side of the Jagdtiger, and that one didn't penetrate. So you can see the problem with Hesh rounds. If they don't penetrate, you do very little damage. And he got hit again from the T-44-100. It takes him down to 22 hit points. And there goes upon the burglar, taken down by Dynamite. So there's only the T-44-100 left. You can see he's only on 131 hit points, so there's not a whole lot of hit points left in the game, but Dynamite's got 500, so he can actually afford to take a hit quite easily, perhaps even 2 hits from the T-44, but I think he's a better player than that. And here we've got Commies just backing him up. He hasn't been lit, so it looks like the T-44's pulled back a little bit. And you can see the ELC is giving a pretty wide berth to try and come up on the T-44 from a distance so he doesn't get spotted. And Commy just coming up the hill slowly. And just carefully looking out, checking the angles. I really don't know where that T-44-100 is, but chances are he's at the back of the camp area. He's had plenty of time there. In fact, there he is, just been spotted. 131 hit points, there he is. Commy fires, snaps towards him, but that goes over the top. And it looks like the ELC is just going to go in and monster him. Alright, he's definitely coming around the back way. And there he gets the kill. So that is the game. Well done, boys. Good recovery. Let's go and have a look at the summary of the results. So an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge there for Commy, but importantly he got his 3rd mark of excellence. So congratulations for that. Got the High Caliber Award, of course, for doing the most damage, and Confederate Award for damaging tanks that were then killed by his teammates, and Crucial Contribution Medal. And yeah, it's big thanks to his platoon mate. It's something Commy wanted to pass on. So let's see how the 2 of them did. There you go. 1503 base experience, nice level of EXP, and Dynamite 33 got 1280, so pretty close to that. Would have been at least a 1st class for the ELC. So both of them, yeah, pretty dominated the game, 7 kills between them, and pretty much carried that game for their team. And on the enemy team, that sneaky T-44-100 actually came out on top with EXP, and he might have got an Ace Tanker out of that, with Courageous Resistance being added to it. But a few of them did over 2k, and in fact on the 75 on their team did 3.6k, so well done to that player. Gnaeus Tinnitus, an interesting name, sounds very Roman. Anyway, let's have a look at the detail. So he fired 29 shots, 23 hit, and 15 of those penetrated. 1 splash damage, that was that shell that did 23 hit points of damage to Von the Burglar. Most of his damage was done from a distance of more than 300 meters. And a small amount of assisted damage as well, so actually got over 6k of combined damage. And a premium tank, he used primarily his standard ammunition, so he didn't spend a whole lot on that and ended up still making a profit about 16k. Anyway, great game there from Commy. Congratulations again on the 3rd mark. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please consider doing that. And we'll have more great content like this through the week. So thanks for watching.